Hey there everyone, how's it going? This is Paritosh again with Paritosh's Excel Tips for Beginners. So last week we had a very interesting lesson, I believe, on if statements, a basic statement that is pretty powerful. Now we want to enhance it a little further this week by looking at nested if statements. So what are nested if statements? So basically, sometimes it so happens that you have to categorize things into two different categories, right? So in last year's example, we had basically a set of numbers that had to go either into category A or category B. But what if you had another category? What if you had a category C of numbers to put in, right? I mean, this is something that you typically see in, like things like when you're trying to segregate your data, right? So you have, say, for example, small tier markets, mid tier markets, and higher tier markets. So, for example, a small tier market would be maybe a town with a population of less than 1,000 or more. Or maybe a mid-sized market would be something with a town, something like a town with a population size of 10,000 or something. And then a higher tier market would be a market with this population size of 100,000. So sometimes you have to take a look at Excel data and then split it into three different categories, or sometimes even more. And what Excel provides us is this really nice tool called the nested if that helps you to do that. So let's dive right into an example and I can show you how. So here we have an example. If you remember last time, we had a certain set of numbers that either belong to a category A or a category B, but now we actually have a situation where we have different types of numbers. So you have three categories. So if a number is 0 to 10, it belongs to category A. If it's 11 to 20, to category B, and 21 to 30, it belongs to category C. So how do you split these numbers into these three different categories? So let's dive right in and I can show you how. So let's say you have the if statement, right? So what you do is you type equal to if, and then like always, Excel helps you with this. So you click on this formula and then Excel tells you what the syntax is, right? So the logical test in this case, you want to mention that the number belongs to category A, so it has to be less than 11, right? So if this cell is less than 11, then it belongs to category A. And now here comes the nested part, right? So if it's not true, if this number is greater than 11 or greater than or equal to 11, then it would either belong to category B or it could belong to category C. So what we do is you put in another if statement. So you say if over here, of course. Right. Excel gave me a bit of trouble, but no worries, we do this. And just note the color of this bracket here. It is red, and I can talk to you a little bit more about it later. But when you put in the next logical test, right? So you say if A2 is less than 21, then answer it belongs to category B, otherwise it belongs to category C. That is your formula. And what you do is you close the bracket, and when you close the bracket, you see that there is it's red in color, right? So you also have another open bracket that's black. You don't have a closed bracket that's black. So this is Excel's way of making sure that your formula that you entered makes logical sense. So typically, if you open up a bracket, it tries to ensure that it opens it up in a certain color so that you know to close it to, right? So if you notice that there is no red bracket somewhere, or rather, if there's an opening red bracket but not a closing red one, then that means that you've erred in your formula somewhere. And I think the same goes for this black one, right? So you have an open black bracket, but you don't have a closing bracket, so there's some issue. So what if I say enter to this? See, Excel will give me a typo. It'll say that there's an error, and it says, do you want to accept this correction? For now, we'll say no. It says it, right? So it's opening, it's missing an opening or closing parenthesis. So we say okay to that, and then we ensure that we have a closing parenthesis, closing bracket, if you will, and there you go, right? So you've got an opening black one, closing black one, opening red one, closing red one, and that is your formula. So let's see if that works. Boom, it does, right? So it is a number that's less than 10, so it belongs to category A. And then, as I've told you before, all you need to do is to click on this dot and then drag it, and Excel then takes care of it magically, right? So you have a number like 25 that belongs to category C, you have a number like 16 that belongs to category B, and so on and so forth. So that's it. That is nested ifs. So the reason why it's called nested is because it's an if statement within an if statement. And that's typically a parlance that we use in programming, and I guess now in Excel as well. So I think this is a pretty powerful tool. It certainly helps when you have like multiple categories and you just want a quick and dirty way to figure out what category each of your data point belongs to. It's super quick, very convenient, very little margin for error, and I'd say pretty powerful as well. So that's it. That is nested if statements. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please feel free to like it. Please feel free to subscribe to my channel. I'll be coming up with more videos going forward as well. So every time I create a new one, if you subscribe to my channel, you'll see a notification. So hope you enjoyed this again, and see you guys in the next one. Take care and have a lovely day. Bye bye.